Welcome back to Classic Conversations. I am Fresh, and as always, my co-host Vic, and our new co-host.
Oh, co-host?
Yeah, hell yeah. Talking about special, nigga.
I thought you were gonna say special guest.
No,
Nigga
co-host.
about to be a regular. What you mean?
Alright.
She did. Apparently, she didn't know that.
Didn't know
She
that.
definitely knew
Well, now
that.
she does, and now
Have
y'all
text
know.
receipts.
Oh,
Nah, you can't
But
pull up.
everybody,
maybe
this
she
is
was off.
Maya.
Maybe she was off the. Never mind. I didn't want to tell her business like that. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Maya. Champagne wine, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Anything else?
You tell me.
Nah, that's about it.
Does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
All right. Well, since we got introductions out the way, I guess today it's appropriate to talk about what happened yesterday, BET Awards, and even more so than that, just BET as a whole. Did you watch it?
I seen like little bits and pieces because my mom was watching it.
Okay, we'll watch it.
Yeah, some of it.
Okay.
Just the performances.
Yeah, I didn't too much watch. I didn't watch it. Caught the clips on social media, obviously.
Okay.
That was it. But you know, for me, there's a reason why I don't watch it. I'm not really a big fan of BET post Bob Johnson when it was sold over to Viacom.
Right.
It definitely changed direction. It seems like somebody over there is doing their best black impression. It seems like a whole network of blackface. Like somebody's trying to figure out what black people like, or trying to figure out what to show them, and they don't quite get it right.
I can see that.
So for that very reason, I don't fool with BET on that, and that was really the reason why I don't seem to care about BET experience, even though we in LA, and like it's full of all the tourists, all the tourists down on Hollywood Boulevard, walking down there looking ratchet.
That nigga said, look at Ratchet.
Man, come on, dude, you seen it, you seen them, and they do it every year, like it's the biggest thing to do, and I don't get it because even though it's in our backyard, it just doesn't mean much to me. It's not like the Grammys or something like that. That's really, something to admire. But unfortunately, it feels like that's probably the most fucked up thing is it when it comes to our shit. It's ghetto and ratchet. There's not a whole lot of time.
This year wasn't that
into
bad
it.
though. This year wasn't. Like, I watched a decent amount. It wasn't ghetto. It wasn't ratchet. It was a lot. I think the Hiphop Awards really was like that's the ghetto. But like BET Awards, it wasn't that bad. The tribute they did to Nipsey was beautiful. I was emotional the whole time.
Okay.
So the performances were dope. I don't think it wasn't that ghetto or ratchet.
Okay.
But I can see why you feel that though.
I mean, as far as the BET experience go, like I don't even really like being around a bunch of people like that. So it's like being in big ass crowds and shit, I'll be smooth because I don't even like standing up all day. One, and I don't like being hot too. So it's like LA was for sure blazing this weekend, and my black ass was in the central air. You feel me? But
it was sick out here this weekend. We were in Hollywood and I saw like 3 Lambo trucks in 2 seconds. A raid that been niggas was out.
Niggas be like for what though? It's like,
but people from out of town come here
That's
like
what I'm
this.
saying.
They
That's what it was. So niggas be putting their bread together and they rent that shit.
But see,
pushing.
On the flip side of it though, just me looking at it from a marketing standpoint, if you're an artist or whatever that may be, it would behoove you to come out here and do some shit like that if that's the lane you play, as far as that's the image you're portraying. So at the end of the day, I for sure respect it for the niggas who is like, okay, at least they got a motive behind it, you know what I'm saying? But
we pushing fake it till you make it?
I'm not saying fake it till you make it, but if you're just trying to provide some type of aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? Then.
But you coming out here to network too, you're not really faking it. If you come out here to network, you may end up at a event at an industry party. You may meet somebody, a producer, or label, A&R person. It's a lot of networking versus just kind of faking it.
And I mean,
if you do it the right way.
In a sense, every business face it till they makes it. Because even if you at a bad point financially, then eventually, I mean, you're never gonna show face that you're in a bad place financially. You're always gonna show forth like you're a positive grossing company. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I feel like, I'm not saying go on the internet and be flossing money that you don't have. I'm not even a nigga that promotes showing money anyway. I feel like that's a little corny. But
but that's what I'm saying. Like, why can't we have, artists who tell a story? Like, hey, right now I ain't got it, but I will. Maybe I will get it. Like, why
I
can't we
mean,
show that we?
But those are the
where
times
right
we
now?
live in. People only ever tell you the good. People only ever highlight their good. People never tell you when they get fired, when they broke, when they ain't eating days. People don't highlight that shit.
And is that because they think that other people will look at them in negatively?
But I feel like I've been on social media for 10, 15 years, and I've always been open, good and bad. I've argued with boyfriends on social media. I've gone on YouTube and said that I was fired, just because I feel like, for me, it's very, and every time I open up, people are responsive and good. Like, damn, it's good to know that I wasn't the person feeling that way. So I feel like we should be more open, because a lot of people everybody going through shit. Everybody's arguing with their mom, arguing with their nigga. It's not like you the only person who's broke. I feel like it's just we live in a very like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, we just live in a world right now where everything's like a bubble. Like it's like a fishbowl. Like, it looks cool and then you back up and it's bullshit.
Yeah, that's the part that I hate, is because you have an artist who broke, right, and instead of just appealing to fans that may be in the same, maybe not even broke, maybe they just work a regular job and they live average, but it's like they're afraid to seem broke or seem like they're a working class individual to other working class individuals, so they got to floss on people that they don't, you know what I mean? It's like the people that are online that would be talking shit are usually the working class people, right? So it's like, well, why can't you be like me and we still support or not look down on you, and so you could tell a story of like slow growth, but at the same time, steady growth, right?
Most of the time, those people just lacking creativity. So it's just kind of like you end up putting up the cars, jewelry, the money, so people can see that, so they don't really look past it to understand, like, okay, nigga, you don't really offer too much. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, a brand is gonna sell more than the music these days. So at the end of the day, I mean, that's kind of like the 6ix9ine thing. Like, if you never seen him on the internet and you just heard his music, it's like, okay, you got a couple songs that the beat will, you know what I'm saying, make you be like, okay, this shit cool. But when you see the antics on top of it, it's like damn near, when that nigga took a hit, when 6ix9ine went to jail, it's like DJ Academics took a financial hit, because then his consumers went away too, because all the antics is like a hand-to-hand process. Like, he damn near is his #1 promotion source because of the antics. And it's like, the nigga videos will reach just like that because they're waiting for the nigga to do something so out of pocket, nigga. They like, oh, okay, we was waiting for this. You feel me? And that's what will make somebody sit through the advertisement on YouTube. They'll sit through the whole 3-minute video just to see, oh, who this nigga gonna disrespect in the video? When he gonna do this? When he gonna do that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I could definitely see the monetary benefit in that. But there's this one artist, I don't know if you remember Don't Trip. No. He signed to Interscope. He had that song, Letter to My Son. It was about basically his baby mama kept his son away from him because he was, having to do what he had to do, selling dope. And so she kept the son away from him, like totally 100%. Wouldn't let him see it. He couldn't get custody because, his money comes from a racking up, obviously, money that he's in arrears when it comes to, his payments to her. And he did this song, like, out of his anger and his angst and his issues with her. He did a song. It was totally low budget. It was like one of those, like, closet studios, right? Where it might have been in the closet, might have been an old bathroom that they turned into a studio, but it was rinky dink. Just had, the soundproofing on the wall. And he did this video of him just rapping the verses in the studio, and it went viral. And then Interscope picked up that song, picked him up, redid the song, put CeeLo on it, reshot it, remixed it, mastered it, and put it out. And it was pretty big. And they signed him to Interscope for that. He was actually part of the 2012 XXL freshman class. Oh, shit. One of the lesser known of those. This one I believe had Macklemore, Iggy, French. What's his dude name with the?
MGK. Who was that nigga? I don't know who that is.
I forget his name with the contacts. But yeah, came out with some other notable individuals. Hopsin, that's what I'm thinking of. Hopsin, Machine Gun Kelly, Macklemore, and Don't Trip, and Kid Ink also. He was on this one. Future was somewhere on this one. Says right here.
Kid Ink is like a pop
artist,
star.
Yeah. But I'm just saying this guy Don't Trip.
Crazy.
This dude Don't Trip came in literally honest, like he was broke, going through baby mama issues, and came in that way, and it worked for him. He went, it went viral for all the other fathers who are going through that same issue where they weren't so per se.
Wait, this is him on the bottom. My bad.
Nah, he's up at the top right.
With
the hammer?
With the hammer, yeah. And,
damn, Future in this class?
That's what I was thinking. Is that Future?
Yeah, that's Future.
I couldn't figure out. Who was this nigga right here, though?
That's Future right after, astronaut status?
That's crazy.
I go to them, that shit was so hard.
I mean, I like Vic said, though, I think that's a lot of people just like creativity. And I think you do get those one-off instances where those situations do blow up. I think there are certain geniuses, like, I don't mean to be in a stand, but like Drake, who can rap very vaguely.
She's a
but
Drake stand, by the way.
It like everyone. I could listen to a song and we can listen to a song and all of us will feel the same bar in a different way. I think that's just a lot of artists just like creativity. Like if you listen to half the shit these little niggas be saying, it's like, what is this? Turn this off.
But see, it also goes with, and how it's just fucked up this way. It's like, if you're not aesthetically appealing as a person, it don't matter how good your music is. It's a limit to how far you gonna go.
So when you say aesthetically pleasing as an individual, you talking about looks?
Right, like
men and women.
Both. Like you gotta have the type of effect on people to where it's like, I want to be like that person. Because that's all the rap shit and the music shit really is. Beside of some other parts of the music, but now hip-hop music, rap music is all about like people like, oh, it's a copycat game. I want to be like, I want to look like,
because I feel like all these
do the things like
all these new rappers look just like Uzi. Dreads, colored hair.
Right.
That's all they look like.
Right.
Baby Uzis.
That is not the person to be trying to be looking like, but
yeah.
I mean, put like this. It was like, I look at it like
definitely not for no straight man.
Chief Keef, Soulja Boy, and Gucci Man all influence
the fuck
this whole culture.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
who you said?
Chief Keef, Gucci Man, and Soulja Boy.
You gonna leave out Lil Wayne?
Yeah, I was gonna say Wayne.
I mean
too.
Wayne, but I think Wayne is a little bit like, Wayne is before Gucci Man, so it's kind of like.
But I think he's influenced.
Definitely influenced, like
he's influenced a lot.
He definitely plays into the blood card, to popularize kind of the blood shit in the South.
For sure. Okay.
So he definitely still.
You think you from the South? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's accurate. Those was that 4?
Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
I just hate the fact that
for sure
it doesn't leave any room for person that's on the come up with.
So who are your favorite artists? Because based on what you're saying, it makes me feel like you like very content filled music and not just I'm trying to drink and drown.
Yeah, no, I have like everybody else, I have like two sets of music, which is not like different than any, like obviously I'm the older one on the show, and so he said you're a Drake stan. I think Drake is corny as fuck, and I don't really care for him, but I think he's a great rapper. I just don't care for his personality, but I just had to interject that so we get that established going forward. Yeah, we're just gonna let.
Okay, but you still ain't answer me. I want to know who your favorite artist is. So,
right now,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
period,
yeah, an active artist.
Hey, you wanted to say that the whole time. That's funny.
Not since you said it. When you said it, I was like, let's go ahead and establish this now, so then like the viewers when they
him as a person, he is corny. He's a white boy from Canada, so I get it. But
well, there we go. We can agree on that.
I can understand how someone feels that way.
Yeah, wheelchair Jimmy. Did you watch Degrassi?
I did watch Degrassi.
You did, so the two of y'all used to. Okay. Did you watch? You ever watch? You did too.
See, Degrassi was fire. Niggas be sleep.
First off,
Degrassi exposed us to so much shit.
Look, hold on, I'm not gonna put bro out there, but you aren't even in the generation to sit at home and watch Degrassi, nigga.
How old is he?
36.
Older than us. 36.
Yeah.
Right. So you got like.
I got 10 years.
So what the fuck were you watching? In Living Color or something?
Stop, bro. Seven for the sun. Look.
What were you watching?
No, see how they age shaming me, bro? You see how they age shaming me?
Oh, you just looked at us for watching Degrassi like that wasn't age appropriate for us to be watching.
But it had nothing to do with your age. It's just the fact that it was a corny ass show. But y'all
age,
y'all gonna age shame me?
It has substance.
It's a black dude who gets shot by a white guy and ends up in a wheelchair.
That wasn't the moral of the
That's not moral.
Later on.
That's the moral of Drake's story there. Wheelchair Jimmy.
No,
like he'll
not
forever be
really.
known as Wheelchair
To you?
Jimmy.
He was the popular hooper nigga on
Yeah,
that show.
he hit the bitches and all that.
Okay.
Hey, you a hater? That's crazy.
Nah,
I never watched it.
It ain't.
You just know
Look, I
Wheelchair
can tell
Jimmy
you,
from the bar.
every reference that I've heard, like let's say in rap form, from him or anybody else that had any kind of relation to Degrassi, always talks about like Game just had a freestyle just recently where he said Wheelchair Jimmy. Like that's even though before that he was Jimmy, he'll always just be Wheelchair Jimmy. Like that was his.
Bro, it's you know what an actor is? It's just a show. You gotta
Yeah,
take
but
it.
it is a
you gotta separate the art.
It's
He hate this nigga.
But it's to me, it's a representation of his corniness as just a solid individual. But anyhow, let's get past that. You asked me a question.
Who is your favorite current artist, or who is someone you listen to a lot?
I would say like I'm really big on J. Cole. You know,
That all makes sense.
Kendrick.
That nigga boring as hell. Too.
Kendrick, but then well, J. Cole got a lot to say, like even outside of the music, and so I definitely relate to all of those things. But Kendrick, but then like I said, there's two sides to it. Like everybody has like, two different styles of like when you partying, you per se don't want to listen to some hella thought provoking shit. So,
but that's why I asked what your favorite artist was, not everything else you listen to. Don't know who you go to. If you go in your car, who do you want to listen to? Like your go-to artist.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's what I'm saying. In the car, I don't listen to. I listen to more, like trap shit. Like that's what I like to listen to.
So who's your favorite trap artist? Future?
Nah, I can't stand Future. He doesn't say like for that. He doesn't say much enough for me. Like I feel like there's a good balance. There's a balance to lyricism and vibe and style.
Maybe now.
Cadence.
I think early on, Future was hitting us with a lot of bars.
Yeah,
even up until
what else? Them 3 mixtapes, 56 Nights, Beast Mode, and Monster. Boy,
nigga, even up until Future and Hendrix. The one when the melodic one, which one is that? Is that Hendrix? When he's singing that host, that nigga is singing his soul out because he misses the air. You can't tell me it's no content in that album.
Sweet.
That's not about content.
Bro, what?
I'm not talking about content. I'm talking about lyricism, like with the way you put your words together. Like,
I think you may be expecting the wrong things from the wrong people.
Finish the answer though. Who else you like?
She asked me on some trap shit. Always fuck with T.I. Even though he kind of fell off on some shit lately.
Hey yo, fam. T.I.
Maybe she should refine the question.
Okay.
In this generation of music.
Yes.
Who do you
why
like
does it?
in the
If
trap
she said trap, why does it matter? Whoever does trap.
I'm saying I think that's what she was referencing because she was looking for an up to date artist that you're speaking about. We know that you like that. We know that you like the greats from that generation. T.I. basically started trap music
for sure.
Feel me? So
what she said initially was somebody that's still making music. So
okay, I mean T.I. is really just making music because he's an artist.
Well, he's still making music. There's no stipulation to that.
All right, so
let's see, who could I?
Gunna, Lil Baby, who are the
trap artists? Travis Scott.
Travis is not a trap artist.
Not trap. I don't listen to a whole lot of Travis Scott.
Me neither.
That's a tough one.
What were you just listening to before you got the car?
What was I listening to? I can't remember his name. He's from Dreamville.
J.I.D.
So he likes music with substance and content. Sometimes I just want to drip it around. I don't want to hear all that nonsense.
Right, bro, came from the era of niggas rapping.
Yeah, so that makes more sense. Yeah,
he doesn't believe. He thinks I'll be playing like when I'm like it's a generational gap between me and him.
Absolutely.
No, I thoroughly get it, but then
it's a generational gap between me and fucking Darian. Like the shit, like he get in the car and play Playboy Cardi, and I'm like, oh my god, you have to like my ears are bleeding. Turn this off.
Cut this shit off, nigga.
like I'm with all the old heads, and they be like, this shit is trash. I cannot stand that shit.
Put like this.
But the kids love it though.
All the niggas make certain songs that you gonna fuck with. You feel me? It may not be every song.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be some songs you fuck with. You feel me? So
I'm really big on people's voices. So like I respect Kendrick. I think Kendrick is one of the greatest rappers, but I cannot sit down and listen to his album, and I've tried it multiple times. He has too many different voices for me to try and tune into. I cannot do it.
See, like you not, but again, you don't really listen to like West Coast classic music like that either. You feel me? So it's like
that's
that.
not really true. Cube, sugar free, quick.
I mean,
you can't say that.
You listen to it, but you don't listen to it though. Like you can't really name like like the general songs that's really popping by them niggas, but you can't say I fuck with this song off this album. That's not like some super public shit. And so like it's hard for somebody to get that type of understanding, especially all that music is coming from the essence of those small songs. You feel me? Like. The Ride With Me shit, that's from old Juvenile, you feel me? And you gotta really know, if you ain't never heard, you know what I'm saying, Juvenile first album, then you ain't even gonna know where RJ even got Ride With Me from in the first place.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's not even a song that was a single off the track, you feel me? That's just a song on the album. Same thing with that. Like with the Kendrick shit, he mimicking old shit that we was doing in these old songs. That shit is hard.
But like even Meg Thee Stallion, I think she's beautiful. I'm here, hot girl, summer it up, bitches. But I cannot listen to her music. She's too aggressive. Her voice is just. I'm really big on voices, and if your voice is not something that like I can get past
she's from a whole different demographic as us though. That's to LA women. That's hella aggressive. When you start moving further across the United States.
But Cardi is really aggressive too, and I fucked with her. So was Nicki. Nicki was very aggressive early on, and I fucked with Nicki.
Cardi like ghetto aggressive though. You feel me? She came off like ghetto aggressive in the beginning. Yeah. For sure.
She still is.
But like Meg Thee Stallion come off. Her body language is not aggressive. You feel me?
It's just her. But even
her voice is deep.
What's that bitch name? Cash Doll. Her said I can't do it.
Cash Doll.
I don't like her voice either.
Cash Doll's so fire.
She's absolutely beautiful, but I can't listen to her music.
So what do you think about as far as their image though? Like, let's per se Megan Thee Stallion. Like, how do you feel about? I don't want to say so much the objectification of it because it's not.
But like the hot girl summer shit. Hold up, sis. I don't care.
You said like
stop.
Hold up, sis. City girls, all that. I'm for all of it.
Okay. So even after one after another that seem to exist in the same lane or continue to do the same shit to where it's almost like you gotta shake your ass.
I feel like up until Cardi, we did not have from Cardi until now, we hadn't had hella women artists. Because for a long time it was just Nicki. It was just Nicki that was mainstream that we saw in other songs. Up until Cardi, we didn't get the Megs, the Cash, the Sweeties, all them bitches. This is something very new. So I think women will always be sexualized because we're women. We're beautiful. Our bodies, we have titties, we have ass. That will always be that. But I can understand what you're saying. But there are some women, like we said, Rhapsody, who that's not her lane. She doesn't want that content. Or she doesn't want that attention.
But then that's the thing. That's the other side of it to where she won't get it because she doesn't. You know what I mean? Like those.
But I don't think that's what she wants. I don't think that's her market. I don't think she doesn't rap like she want a nigga to come in, whatever.
But that's my point. But I'm talking about in the level of success, like the ones that we see that are always successful.
Missy Elliott was successful and niggas did not want to fuck her.
Nah, but guess how long ago that was? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that came from a different era where hip hop as a whole was more broad and more balanced, where you could have conscious and gangster and backpack and mainstream and underground and all these
sex will always sell. Sex will always sell.
But you got to also think about it. What was Missy talking about? Even though she wasn't out in a bathing suit or a bikini or whatever, she wasn't shaking her ass. She was still definitely pushing sexualization for that time period. It wasn't as overt as it is now. And then you had like the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, you know, who was definitely the epitome of more, you know, conscious womanhood, right? More thought-provoking.
And she was huge, though.
And she was huge. But those are the rarities. We see more of the Lil' Kims, to the Trinas, to the Nickis, to the Cardis. And even so, we're, like, let's say, the further we get from that old era, the more it seems like you don't see a woman blow up. Unless she's shaking her ass and talking that shit to where you can't be a dope like an Ill Camille or a Rhapsody
why can't
or a Jizzle without to get that to that level.
Why can't we attest that? So one thing I do understand is most girls do what they do to impress other girls.
Exactly.
They wear makeup for other girls.
I'm about to shit on these bitches. You never hear girls leave the house and be like, "Oh, I'm about to give me a fine nigga."
And it's
always a shit on the bitch.
And the same thing for niggas. Like,
men do this.
Niggas who lack certain type of security about themselves. I'm not even gonna say all of them, but a lot of them that are faking the funk, that lack security about themselves, they'll present themselves in a certain way to impress other niggas.
There was a comic back in the day that posed that same thing. I gotta find it,
but yeah, so I'm saying like, man, I don't really care about the female sexualization shit as much or so much because of the fact, because I know it's like the girls are just doing it for other girls. Like,
yeah, I think
like at that level, are they doing it for other girls, or are they doing it just to become successful? Because that's the lane to success for women in the industry.
As a woman, I think the whole, like, I won't speak on the little hot girl so much because I don't really fuck with Meg like that. But in terms of like the city girls, I feel like the city girl shit, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I feel like that shit is like empowering to women. Like, be yourself. If you want to hoe up, sis, hoe up. Have a city girl summer. Fuck these niggas and go on about your day. Fuck them and block them. Or I feel like that shit is somewhat empowering to women. It's like, do as you please. Fuck these niggas. Do them how they do you and go on about your day. I don't feel like, I get what you're saying. That might be the case because they want to be successful in sex sales. That's the world we live in. But I feel like some of that shit is, I feel like a lot of it is very empowerment for women. I feel like even hot girl shit, like, we having fun this summer.
Let's say you are an artist, right? And I don't know how you, just meeting you, I don't know how, you are on a day-to-day basis. Let's say you are an artist and you wanted to occupy that spot, right? Would you be comfortable with somebody saying that you can't get to that spot without being like that? Like, without, okay, well, you got to take off your clothes and shake your ass.
If somebody blatantly, yeah, that would make me uncomfortable. But I think if going into that lane, I would already know that comes with
definitely
it.
Blatant.
But I mean, so what? Yeah. But at the same time, you saying how you said it's a rarity with the Lauryn Hills and the Missy Elliott. You gotta understand, like, that means that's the minority. The majority is gonna be people that don't have those type of skills. Like, Lauryn Hill could rap and she could sing. Missy Elliott could rap and she could sing. Missy Elliott could direct her own videos. She could produce. Yeah. Like, all those concepts she coming up with in her own mind. So it's like 9 times out of 10, artists have to have a team of people who are not in their brain come up with this stuff for them, so it doesn't come off the same. So it's like,
like we talked about. Look at the Ill Camille's and the Rhapsodies, who definitely have a good team and a good, like, Rhapsody is signed to Rock Nation.
Right.
She got Ninth Wonder behind her, backing her. Like, like, what more does she need to get to the upper echelon? But it's like that upper echelon for women is only designed, or not, I can't say a design for it, but as we see right now, the only ones hitting that upper echelon are butt naked.
So, but look at on the other side. So, but that's their marketing lane, right?
Yeah.
So Rhapsody and Ill Camille, right? What are their brands besides being dope rappers? Because on that end, you have to ask that question as well. How are you marketing yourself to be bigger than rapping? Because we all know you still have to sell something. If you're going to sell positivity, sell positivity. I can sell it, but it has to be something in a tangible product. It has to be something where people can relate to besides just the music to bring them to the music.
I mean, I definitely see your point. I get that, but I just don't, I can't, in my mind, relinquish that to be the reason when I've seen it happen time and time again where, it's the same thing we talk about, like, with conscious artists, like, who 9 times out of 10 don't get to the same place. Well, Jay-Z said it. Like, he put it out there totally. He's like, if it was about that, I'd be rhyming like common sense, but, well, so whatever, and I ain't been rhyming like common sense, right? Basically telling you that conscious shit don't make money. We take that on the males, and we know that that's conscious versus gangster shit or drug shit or hood shit, but when it's female, it's definitely clothes on versus clothes off. And so if we likened it to the very same, okay, they know that this is the lane to get your success as a woman. I just don't think that's.
I think that's just something as of late. I honestly don't think, because up until Nicki, really, like, up until Cardi, we didn't have these fluid bitches shaking their ass and doing a city girl.
But then
we didn't have all that.
What happened before that was you didn't have, like, there was the early on with the Queen Latifahs and MC Lights, and then there was a drought, right? And then when you got the Missies and the Lauryn Hills, there was 1 or 2 sprinkled here and there. There was a bunch of them who didn't, like the Rod Diggers, who were sidekicks, and you had. So there was very rarely did you see a woman. There was not right now, like how there's so many women artists. That's a new thing. There weren't a whole lot of new women artists. And then, but even then, what goes to prove it is that even when you had those two, you had Lil' Kim over here who was definitely pushing those same bounds. And so that was cool. There was balance in it. I'm not one to say like I don't like this or I don't like that or I don't. But when it's like when a person has to conform or become something to
I don't
achieve
think no
success,
one
you
is
can't
telling.
just be like, what? I mean,
But I don't think anyone's sitting down and telling Rhapsody you have to show your ass or shake your ass if you want to be the biggest card. That's not the case. That's not her market. And like Vic said, what is her brand? Like I feel like a lot of this shit is really women empowerment. It's looked at like, oh shit, having your city girl summer. Because I was like, oh, I'm having a city girl summer. Then boom, I got a boyfriend. I really feel like all this shit is it's telling women to be who they are, have fun, and be yourself. Even Beyonce, I feel like, to your point, has gotten a little bit bigger. She's gotten a little more bigger in a sense where she's shaking her ass a little bit more. She's a little more provocative, and women are here for it because it's like we've been ashamed, or there's this stigma where women can't do as they please. I can't fuck a nigga and then go fuck another nigga tomorrow. I'm looked at it as a hoe. I feel like a lot of this shit is like, be you, do as you please.
No, I'm not against that person. Well, that's a different conversation. If that's who you are, that's who you are. What I'm saying is that the pigeonholing of the labels, the same thing that Jay-Z was talking about, was basically saying that the ignorance sells always. And so you find people who either do the ignorance because they're ignorant by nature, or people who just figure out, well, I'm not going to be able to make it over here, so let me go do the ignorant shit. And then, you know, they have to change who they are to be successful. And then thirdly, you got people who say, well, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to come out as me. And they don't achieve the same success because we know that you got to be ignorant to sell. And that's what Jay-Z's saying.
But you're answering your own question. Ignorant sells. That's just the world we live in. People don't always want to sit down and hear conscious music.
My question was to you, like, that was the question initially was, how did you feel about, as a woman, how do you feel about those three things where women have to be a certain way to succeed, right, or to get the push behind them?
Feel that.
Because you got to look at it like that's
the
big money comes, the big money and the push comes behind those.
But it's like, it's sex sales. I feel like I said, I'm a Drake fan. I feel like the last 2 years, Drake has been the finest he's ever been, and he has bitches that I didn't even know liked him on him, posting his pictures, him in the, like, it's just the word of fortune. Like, your issue is something that, like, a way bigger conversation, but it's just ignorance sales and sex sales. That's just what it is. The better you look, the fatter your ass is, the slimmer your waist is, people are going to be like, oh, hold on. Because it's just the world we live in. You look more attractive, you're going to get a little bit more benefits in life. That's just...
But then it goes back to look at the people you name. Like, again, with the Missy Elliott and the Lauryn Hill, it's like they were able to do so many other things besides just vocals on a track that it attracted you to them. Like, Missy Elliott came with the different looks, the finger waves, the bubble suits, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that pulled you into Missy Elliott. Like, what the fuck? Like, this shit is crazy, but this shit look tight, though. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Lauryn Hill, like, she acting, she rapping, she a part of a group she was a part of a group as well. So that assisted in her career, too. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you don't have that to stand on, like your own creativity to stand on, it's kind of like the label's going to dictate what you stand on.
Because there's been like I say those because those are the ones that you guys would know, but there's a plethora of others that were just as talented who might not have seen it, because like I said, they're the minority, those that can do that without having to shake their ass. Those are a sincere minority, whereas there's many others who were just as talented in all those areas who didn't see it. They let a few through, but the labels put their money behind the ass shaking and the nakedness. That's just like,
because sex sells. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, but I totally understood it. I just wanted to know what you felt as a woman.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, as of late, I just think a lot of, like, even the Sweetie song, like, rich nigga, A-figure, that's my type. Like, it's just, I just think a lot of it, we're in this whole Me Too movement and feminists, all this bullshit. I just think a lot of it is women empowerment. I just really think that's all it is. Like, it's like, when I would be screaming City Girls, it's not like, oh, I'm trying to go ho. It's like, shit, I'm trying to have fun. Fuck all the bullshit. Like, I think it's just telling women just to be more comfortable in your skin and do as you please. If you want to fuck a nigga on Saturday and fuck another one on Sunday at brunch, do it, sis. It's like, fuck it. If you want to pimp a nigga...
That's deep.
But if you listen to that music, like, I feel like the shit that city girls rap about is the same shit niggas rap about, but it's just worse because we're women.
Fucking bitches, you know.
How to pimp a nigga, how to get what you get what you want out of these niggas. Y'all get what y'all want out of us, so why can't we get what we want out of y'all?
Right, but nigga,
even though it's monetary.
Right, but your pH balance can change. Fucking different niggas and different.
Who said I had to fuck you to get a bag?
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking
no,
about
but I'm just going.
I'm talking about when you said fucking nigga on Saturday, fucking
yeah.
nigga on Sunday. Right, the bitch is about to be. Her shit is about to be fucked up. That's nasty. Come on, man.
I'm not condoning that, but I'm just saying that's what.
Community cooler.
Listen,
hey,
it's city girl summer for these bitches. If y'all want to hoe up,
community cooler. I can't get with that either. Hey, we just gonna put a big pause in this and we get right back to you. Classic conversation.